Into some cards, shall we? So we are revisiting to start the day a deck that was popular at the start of the Call of the Mountain drop with Lulu, but has fallen a little bit by the wayside. The more stock lists at the moment are favoring Fiora as their second champion as opposed to Lulu. And basically the trade-off is Fiora with her challenger is a little bit more interactive card, whereas Lulu is a little bit more aggressive, linear of a card. So she, when she attacks, she makes her supported ally a 4/4 till end of turn. She levels when allies have been supported 3+ times. Notably, she does not have to see them get supported, so she tends to level very quickly in decks that are built with her in mind. Her leveled mode makes her supported ally a 5/5 till end of turn, and also creates a fleeting help picks every round. And help picks is super powerful card that actually helps you control the board a little bit. So her leveled mode has a little bit of that same control that Fiora has from the start, where she either gives one of your things a barrier or makes an enemy vulnerable to make you force it to block. So you can either protect picks or protect Lulu so that way she's able to get in every turn, or you can make something vulnerable to give yourself profitable blocks when you attack. Our second champion here is Shen, another support champion. When he supports, he gives a supported ally a barrier. He levels up when he's seen 4+ barriers get deployed, and then his leveled mode gives extra attack when things get barriers, which helps you end the game very, very quickly in an aggressive deck. A.B. Williams, thanks for the 20 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. The bottom end of our curve is things like Bleak Feather Tracker and Flower Child. Good interactive one drop that scales up. Bright Steel Protector pairs very well with Fleet Feather Tracker. We're playing War Chefs and Young Witch in the 2-drop slot because both of these work well with our support 1-drop as well as Fleet Feather Tracker. Got a couple of Nopifies in here as cheap counter spells. And then, at the top end of our curve, we're curving out into things like Swiftwing Lancer and Genevieve Elmhart as challengers that hit hard and help us control the board. So, speaking of the board, yeah, I got the KDA board. We're gonna play with it a little bit today. Let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it goes. Do we have new cards this morning? I have the first one, but not the subsequent ones. So I have the Freljord card. The one I really want to play with a bit is Go Hard. That's the third one, I think. So hopefully we'll have that by Monday. Elise Hecarim. Mulligan, these two, hoping to find a 1-drop. I'm going to keep Chefs and Protege. Yeah, you can click this to change the music, right? Maybe I'm supposed to lead on War Chefs because they're a Vile Feast deck, potentially.
Come closer. I don't bite. You won't suffer long.
So easy no blocks here with our elusive Protege along with Young Witch here. We'll get to eat Elise next turn, which is nice. I think, I was going to say I think I open on attacks, but with that, I think that changes my mind.
Smell that? A bite's a cooking.
unfortunate.
Into the face. Positive. There. Eat up, friend.
We do get to kill Elise here at least. We'll see if they want to mark a damage on here or not.
I pull the strings.
It's not a terrible draw. The issue here is I don't really have a good use of my mana this turn, so this is a 6-drop. I've got a bunch of spells sit here. I wonder if I'm supposed to like riposte this and eat the Elise if they attack. How hard is this game to learn? It's incredibly easy to learn. The in-game tutorial is probably the best of any in-game tutorial I've ever used. It does a good job of not only teaching you the basics, but also having a bunch of optional challenge levels that teach you how the priority system breaks down and little details like that. Definitely recommend hanging out in streams if you're looking to learn it, but also the #1 step would definitely just be install the app on mobile or PC and play through all the challenge levels. Honestly, I don't even think, like, card game background is even necessary to learn. I think the opponent might have disconnected.
So young.
They're close to dead to rally, right? Like, this is 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they're actually dead to rally if they don't have anything.
No one goes hungry.
We do this and hit them for 8 down to 11, and then if they are disconnected, we can just kill them with this turn. Looks like they came back though. We'll see if they're able to recover from missing their last turn. JK not back. I've never played. I can follow it like golf by ear. Yep. That's probably something that if you have a little card game background, it's not too bad. Yeah, the game's really well done. The core gameplay loop that Runeterra has established is very good. I think the two critiques I have of Runeterra in general right now are things that they're going to work to address. The first is that the card pool is just a little on the small side because the game's newer still, and they're pumping out cards at a pretty good rate so far. And the other one is the deck editor needs a little bit of work, but you can import decks using code, so it's not too big of a deal at the moment. Misfortune Gangplank. So I think I'm going to mulligan the Swiftling Lancer. Getting to see their champions here and the regions means we know they're playing an aggressive strategy. I'm mulligan the single combat too. I just want as many units as possible to play to the board early. Ideally, I'd like to try and find a 1-drop as well. And so, like, we're attacking on evens here, which means we're going to be a little bit on the back foot this game. And this is the kind of the tough part about things like Lulu and War Chefs, is these support units only have their support effect when they're attacking. So, if we are in a game like this where we're going second and we're attacking second and we have to play defense, it can be tough to establish a very good board presence.
Cooking.
Here is some support so you can support while you are supporting. Thanks for the 19 month zigzags. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. See if they have misfortune on curve here. They do not, but that's a little annoying. I guess we just play. It's actually not too bad. We play Protege here, and then they're probably only attacking with this because these two eat these two nicely. If they attack with all of them, they get an attack trigger from this and a dice trigger from this. That doesn't seem very profitable for them. It's actually a really good draw. So we go ahead and play this, and then we get to play Lulu afterwards, which makes this challenger.
There's nothing a good giggle can't fix. They won't like this.
Hardly fair. Feel the sizzle.
We just do this. They could trade with Lulu, but if they trade with Lulu, then they're not eating this. If they eat this, Lulu survives. And we're killing both of these either way. Yeah, I think this exchange is good for us. Getting the board clear here feels good. We got double Swiftling Lancer in hand. Stabilizing high-ish here, and we're ahead on board.
Ye started without me.
This is fine if they choose to open attacks next turn. I guess this is a 3-3. If they open attacks, maybe we riposte. I definitely don't think I can take a hit from this, so... So yeah, they want to attack here. If they attack with everything, I think we have to go to 7. Probably take the hit from this, put this here, put this here, put this here. These two live. I feel like this attack is good for us. The board's a separate buy. The event passes include cards, emotes, and companions, buddies, whatever these are called. I'm blanking on it.
The wood can't fight back, but I can. These woods belong to us.
So this has Scout, which means the first time I attack with it, I get to attack with everything else again. So I think we go ahead and do this. I think my opponent made a pretty big mistake by not attacking with everything last turn. We would have had some good blocks, but they would have pushed more damage by attacking with everything. And the fact that we're still at 8 now, like we'd be at like 3 or 4 here if they would have attacked with everything the previous turn. So
Gotta go with the flow.
I think my opponent was not appropriately aggressive enough. Yes, this is the game board music. Not only is it the game board music, but you can toggle it. Change that. Change the song here.
I walk the space between worlds.
Explosives primed.
Well, we might just die here anyways.
Strength and grace. Beauty in the play.
Through the coral.
Behind ya.
Taste the glory.
So this is 1 and 2, which is putting us to 5. Right. Riot is very good at what they do, Scissor. Alright, we're at 2. Forgot to put a sweating emote in my lineup. What a punt. We have 9 mana total here. So I can go 3, 2, 4.
We protect these woods as they protect us.
think we're probably gonna see another set of updates to things in the pirate aggro deck. I think the noxious aggro decks in general right now. Oh, I don't. I need to put my sweaty mood in. Good call. My favorite part about using the card rec command is like the card rec command spells out exactly what we're looking for, and then people respond again and like don't provide the things that the card rec command asked them for. I just want to let you know in general, card game players, that literacy is busted when you're playing card games. It is a broken mechanic. Please nerf literacy. Kalista Hecarim, Freljord. I wonder if they're like playing Vehu Endure with Hecarim as a second champion, because sometimes Endure decks only play Kalista. What would I change in the Noxious decks? I would change the Bits of Reach. I think Noxie and Fervor and Decimate are probably too good. There's not... I feel like the way those cards are currently statted, there's not enough room to actually be able to stabilize and ever win a game. Hey, I hurt. Thanks for the 29 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. That cannot block. Yeah, that's the other thing too. What Foodie Wizard said there is like the very Twitch chat knee-jerky reaction is like they see us lose to something on stream and immediately start making suggestions for how we need to change our deck to fix whatever we just lost to. And it's like, oh, that's not really how this works.
Smell that? A bite's a cooking.
So, with the War Chefs here, I thought about playing this so we could block their Fearsome Kali stuff, but I think we just take the hit for 4 here. Now we get to go ahead and play Bright Steel Protector here, which lets us barrier this, and then War Chefs will crank this up to a 3 attack so we can kill the Kalisto Challenger, which is nice. Okay, so I don't want to trade my Bright Steel Protector for these Ephemerals, because Ephemeral means it's going to die at end of turn anyways, so I do want to hook Kalista with this, though, so I'm going to attack him with my 1-3, so they'll get to bounce off of here, which is fine, and I'll get to kill their champion. That was Hecarim's champion spell actually just being played Onslaught of Shadows. I think we're pretty good with this exchange. Opponent missing their block here. Bit of a mistake on their part, because these are going to die anyways. So they might as well put some damage on this and save a life. Card games are all about extrapolating broad generalizations out of small sample sizes. Yeah, it's about looking. The key to being good at card games and tuning and building decks is being able to look at situations and not asking yourself, how do I fix this situation? It's asking yourself, do I need to fix this situation? How frequently is this situation actually happening, etc. It's like, well, this thing happened. How often is this thing actually happening? Was this the average case? Is this something worth preparing for? And then, like, once you ask yourself that question and come to the conclusion that it is something you need to prepare for, then you can start, do we rally this turn? Nah, I'm going to bank this spell mana. We're going to rally next turn with the Elmheart. Elmheart gives all of our dorks +1/+1 when she comes into play. Do I want to let them fog me with that? Gosh, I almost think the answer is yes. I like lose this bonus. I guess I could do this, and then this hits them for 6, and then I could rally here. Yeah, I think I'm okay just killing this turn. Yeah, I don't know.
Can't fight on an empty stomach.
Let's get aggressive. They don't really have much of a board presence here. They're probably dead if they don't have anything. Even if they have something here, like an Eater attacking with everything. Yeah, they could. They're probably just into the rally. Even through this blocker, they're still taking 7, 8. Yeah, they're still dead. They're dead through 2 blockers. So probably worth getting aggressive here.
Eat up, friend.
So they didn't actually look like, once we saw more of their deck, it looked like they were more of a Hecarim than a They Who Endure deck. Not really sure what Freljord cards they were splashing for exactly. Yeah, I think I agree with Limpton that we were wide enough to beat Endure. Did we play against any Lee last night? We did not, Martian. Lee wasn't even, again, like, the big thing I really have to emphasize is that the Lee deck is not super popular, and it's not that powerful. It just feels bad to play against. And the nerf or change, depending on how you want to phrase it, because I technically gave it an extra defense, like, I don't think the change actually solves any of the problems with Lee. It might make it slightly less popular. Yeah, that's the problem. What Spenzor said right there is the problem. The problem is that like I've mentioned in the past, the Lee deck feels a lot like a lot of Magic decks do, in that even when you're beating it, it just isn't really fun to play against. And I know that fun's subjective, but I think on average, a lot of the average Runeterra player doesn't love that style of gameplay. There's definitely a sub-segment of people who do, but I think the average is probably finding it unsatisfying.
No one goes hungry.
I think the type of gameplay it generates is pretty atypical of Runeterra. Runeterra gameplay is, generally speaking, incredibly interactive and has a lot of back and forth. And the Lee Sin deck just kind of breaks that mold because it's very difficult to interact with. Well, and I actually like what you said there, Lampton. It's fun when I win. I actually think part of the reason why that archetype is so it's something worth mentioning is that, like, what who said it, but what Spenzor said, they beat it 3 times, but they didn't really have fun when they were beating it. And I think that that's a pretty key distinction, right? Like that's like big Nexus of Fate vibes. Like where like you walk away from a game that you won feeling unsatisfied. Because generally speaking, people prefer winning to losing, right? So like a deck that's super healthy is a deck that generates good games, and when someone loses to it, they're like, on average, when you lose to the deck, you're like, oh, that was interesting and close and fun, and that was good. And like Lee's like the polar opposite of that, right? Like combo style decks like that are tough to interact with, generally speaking, leave people feeling very unsatisfied. Oh, well, if they have a make it rain here, it ain't gonna be pretty for us. Do I just Braid Steel here? I think I just Braid Steel and Bury or something.
Got your back.
This makes their attacks marginally worse too. I think we just keep going wide here, right? How do we feel about just going 6 wide?
We made it, Ram. I want to go home.
We did Bearded Caveman. Right. Riot's a good music studio. They know what's up. We save Young Witch here. I mean, music's super subjective. If you're not someone that's into the style of music that these types of bands produce, that's understandable. Killing both our challengers is rough beats.
This way! Go!
Eat up, friend.
You got legs. Use them.
The boards are the most expensive cosmetics in Runeterra. I think these are 12. This one's $12. The boards are either 9 or 12. This is considered one of their premium boards. I don't know. I think it's either, Lambton. I think the level of interaction that Lee allows is probably fine if he's not combo killing you.
Vision to see what others can.
The wub clicks are satisfying. Getting to toggle the song is also kind of fun. Sweet is really good here. I think we're just dead, right? Because they have this challenger unit. So like I can play something that can block Swain, but they just challenger it, and then this hits me, and he deals 3 damage to all my stuff. Korluski, thank you for the 27 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. $12.90, $13. Yep, yeah, 100 coins is $1. Lux Taric, Abe. I'm gonna look at these two, looking for a 2-drop. You just get Lulu going. Get her supporting. It also lets us pound for 6 this turn. They could have Remembrance here.
Let's use all the colors.
Strength and grace, beauty in the place.
Laurent Protege. Okay, I guess this is an interesting combination. Like, Lux implies something more controlling, but Taric is a support unit more than anything. think I'm just passing here, huh? I think I want to hold up riposte.
Never submit.
Now, unfortunately here, the tough from Taric means that I'm unable to kill this. Yeah, Lulu in general is good with challengers. The tough part about it is that, what's the word that I'm searching for? The tough part about Lulu with challengers is that a lot of the other small unit decks make it tough for you to take an aggressive stance.
Don't make me flamigify you.
Lulu's gonna get to level on this attack. Currently, depending on what they kill or what they add to their board, we're attacking with everything, with Young Witch supporting this, and then this supporting this.
You fly on, cute little swiftball. Yeah, you did it.
That's true. Taric recasting things does synergize with Lux, is a good observation. I have unlocked the first Freljord card, but that's it. Yeah, Runeterra is easily the best video game card game that exists. Very, very good. All the details are great. Well, Lulu feels bad, but they're losing their whole board, so like, you know, details. There's a good chance these rallies next turn are lethal.
Everywhere I go, the light follows.
I would be pretty surprised if Riot put music in their game.
What do you say, Glow? That's yes.
Educate the ignorance. Is my assumption correct that this is original music by Riot, right? Yeah, Riot's like an actual music studio. So like if they're producing their own music, they can decide who they're putting claims to and who they're not. Because the TLDR. Double rally is so gross.
Demacian steel. Try Demacian magic.
Sure, my point is, Lambton, if they control the full rights to their music, they're very likely just not issuing any claims at all. Third attack's the charm, chat. Okay. Very heads up play here from the opponent. That Hush that Hush saves them from dying next turn, or dying this turn. Could kill them next turn, potentially.
Who does not know the name Laurent?
Yeah, Riot basically, like, makes these music things exclusively to promote their stuff.
I bring clarity.
Come on.
Just a friendly reminder that shouting "It's legal" streamer in chat's gonna get you timed out. I promise you, you're capable of typing a complete sentence before pressing enter. Sure. Natterjack's a good example there. Which supporting flower child was lethal? Because it gives the extra support there. Sure. The actual answer to your question was, is that lethal? Question mark. If I knew the answer to that question was yes, I would have taken the line to deliver lethal. So I'm human. I miss things frequently on stream, but help me. If your point is to engage, like, type a helpful comment. Don't just, like, smash your keyboard and press enter. I believe in you. You are capable of providing reasonable, constructive feedback. Do I want to keep 2/2-drops here? I don't think I do. I think I'm mulliganing these three, looking for, like, 1s and 3s to curve around the Young Witch here. Opponent is, in fact, trying to kinch them all. Nah, not at all, Zigzags. Twitch has finally started cracking down on people using music they're not supposed to use, so it's been a big topic of discussion in general on all of Twitch recently.
Carrots can fly, Rip. Okay. Ow.
Get bloody, get paid.
Yeah, I'm a big believer, Game Master Thompson, that any space that I create on the internet for people to post, I feel like if you're creating a space for people to share things online, you should be responsible for the things that are getting shared in those spaces. Do I want a barrier to protect this? I think I do for a turn.
You're covered.
So, my Discord channel, my Discord server, my Twitch chat, my YouTube comments, all of these are places that I moderate heavily.
Press on. Is it adventure time, you guys? Please, no. What do you say, Glow? That's yes.
Is it adventure time, chat? What do you think? The issue with the whole DCMA stuff isn't as much people using copyrighted music getting punished for it, but rather Twitch not telling them which content is being struck. Is there a way to dispute whether the strike is valid? Well, yeah, well, kind of, Sager. Like, those things are interlinked. Like, the reason why it's an issue to begin with is because there's so many people that for so long have been using a ton of content they don't have the rights to.
Hello.
Slacker, thanks for the 29 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Feed Demacia.
You're so
I guess I want to make this bigger so they don't eat it with the wolf.
Into the face.
They can bounce with this, but that's fine.
No one goes hungry.
You can always find upcoming decks that we're going to be playing later on stream in the deck queue on my website. They're also generally on my Mobalytics page, but if they're not there, they're definitely in the deck queue. This channel is well organized, and I always try to provide the information people want access to, which in the case of card games is deck list, deck list, deck list. Card game players are disgusting, chat. They only want one thing. I just realized we have a minnow emote. We do have a minnow emote. I added dolphin and whale emotes as well for tier 2 and tier 3 subs, so there are various sea creatures depending on your level of support.
Flavor and spice.
Don't stand in my way. Son of a...
Morning, window head.
Sends chills up my
No Nightfall deck's in the queue. You can fix that. You fix them, we'll play whatever you'd like. This is a viewer-powered stream. I think we're playing Protege here.
Strength and grace. Beauty in the blade.
Beauty on the blade. People are being struck for content they own. That's not, yeah, and again, Sager, like, you're showing your ignorance. Like, the person that got struck for playing their own music, like, maybe they didn't write it. Maybe they didn't write it themselves. Maybe they've signed the rights to what they've made over to a record label. Like, it's very far from a cut and dry. And it's also important to understand that I'm not saying that there aren't people abusing the system and that there aren't bad faith actors in the whole DCMA system, because there definitely are. But at the same time, it's also important to understand that, like, there's a lot of nuance that goes into this, and there are a lot of people who are acting in bad faith, who know what they're doing is incorrect. I think we're rallying this turn, huh? Damn it! Fuck! I ran out of time. I was trying to shift my stuff around, and then we did this. I needed to attack with this too. Now we're not rallying. We're dead. I fucked up. The actual answer is that, like, there are there's bad faith things on both sides. Yes, I am human and occasionally get frustrated when I'm multitasking in timeout. Unfortunate end to an otherwise interesting game. If we hadn't timed out there, we probably would have been in a pretty okay spot. Yeah, I missed my attack there, Roth. I was talking to chat, and I had a rally in hand, and I had intended to attack with 4 things, but I fucked the ordering up to start. Set the dial to pink. Sure. Yeah, I would have been able to pump my things twice and then have my challenger kill your wolf. But I missed the attack with the flower child and the other young witch because of tanking and talking.
Save your words. We speak with blades.
The fate of mortals and spirits falls to me.
Yeah, and again, just like kind of what we talked about a bit ago in that like these support units, just like when you're not attacking, they're so linear that being unable to pivot your role in spots like this is really bad.
Go wake him up.
It must be done.
Oh God!
I guess we do this, but it really does not feel like a winning play. Maybe this Swiftwing Lancer can kill their Fiora next turn.
This will be quick.
Free, Lulu. Wasn't supposed to happen.
Can you cite a source on that, Sager? Can you reference particular laws or sources that say DCMA rule state strikes must be disputable? I've never heard that before. Could you also cite the specifics that say it has to be disputable by the specific creator and not the platform? Because I am not a lawyer, but I would also be surprised if the platform's not allowed to. Are you familiar with the entire Twitch TOS and partner agreement that people have signed? Twitch isn't a service provider. Twitch is not a service provider.
Wait, is that a
They're a content platform. Your service provider must notify you promptly when they remove your content because of a takedown notice. So again, like, it's not just like cut and dry definitions of things matter. It's also interesting to me is in all the legal nonsense around it is really something that Twitch is the one that's getting the DCMA notices. So like why is Twitch obligated to forward that information onto people on the platform? Because like they're giving it to Twitch, right? So it feels like if the creators are supposed to be the ones. Why don't these companies directly reach out to the people that they have their strikes against? Why is it on Twitch? Sure, but if it's on Twitch hosting them, why is it Twitch's obligation to reach out to the individual creators instead of just taking action themselves?
Who does not know the name Laurent? Be Demacia.
Okay.
Justice will be served!
So, Genevieve with Elmhart, or with Chef Sear, can kill this at least.
Virtue guides me.
Second Radiant Guardian.
Harry Riposte, you are toast. Hardly fair.
Guess we're going.
No one goes hungry.
The law specifies that's how DCMA work. It protects platforms from liability from user-created content, but they must accept and respond to takedown notices. Otherwise, the platforms are liable. Sure, but like, does they have to respond to it? Does that mean they have to give users the ability to respond to it, or that they just have to take down the content themselves? Because like those two things are different, right?
This will not take long. This is my opponent.
Because, like, technically, Twitch taking the stuff down is them responding to it, right? Sure, but again, like, they're technically providing users with notice, right? Like, does the law specify the amount of detail that has to go into those notices?
Don't think I won't unmake you because I will.
Return to us.
Okay, so they don't have an 8-drop, or if they do, it's in their hand. Sure.
Wait, is that a familiar frog? Oh my gosh. Go on, Rib.
Tell me to say hello. Hello.
I feel the core issue I have with what a lot of people have done or said in response to DCMA stuff is that a lot of people don't seem to understand that both of these things can be true. Twitch did a poor job of responding to claims that people had from DCMA, but at the same time, there are also a great number of people on Twitch who have been abusing the system for profit for a long time. Both of those things are true. So, yes, Twitch could do better and should try and do better, but there's also this, like, presence in the community that, like, Twitch is the only one at fault here, and that really couldn't be further from the truth.
Hardly fair. Eat up, friend.
Pretty okay turn. Yeah, that's Quaddle hits the nail on the head there. There's a lot of people who are acting like these are all just blameless victims, and they're really not. Whale poop. There's a quest to deal a bunch of Nexus damage, so I'm gonna let them hit us here so they can do that. Awkwardly slow bonking. Yeah, the fact that they were each dying as they went slowed it down. One drop on one is nice. If you ever have a question about what I'm streaming and what order I'm playing it in, my stream title lists everything I intend to play in the day and the order in which I intend to play it. If you want exact deck lists for things that we're going to be playing, they're available in the deck queue on my website. Also generally available on my Mobalytics page, accessible via !decks. You don't have to come into my chat and ask what's going on for the day because it's already available to you. I've made the information accessible.
Look, Lou, I made a Pix too.
Hello.
Aww, he's gonna be super happy.
It's unfortunate. Tracker plus Lulu is gonna get to kill this. Opponent notably playing Unspeakable Horrors, which probably means they're playing 8 deal 1 drains.
Heart is the strongest muscle.
Unless it's made of marshmallow, apparently. Go wake him up.
We just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna be done with this deck. I think we saw some good reasons in this set why like this deck is just not. I feel myself getting annoyed with chat, so I'm gonna put chat in sub-only mode for a while. There's a lot of people in chat that just like can't be bothered to read anything, and I keep repeating myself, and I'm just gonna hang out. Yeah, it's real bad this morning. There aren't even that many people in here, so I'm gonna toggle it off. So again, just like don't make me repeat myself constantly. Like if like there's all the information is there. Like what deck is it? I've said 4 times. It's like it's posted and it's there. Like. Sorry to folks that are behaving, but I'm getting real annoyed. As far as this goes, this deck was super underwhelming. I think we had a number of games in there that really showed why Lulu is a champion that's fallen off and Fiora is the thing that's being played. The Lulu just has a lot of the same problems that Taric does in that she's very linear and she only does one thing. And these support cards, they have a tough time because games in Runeterra tend to be dynamic from game to game, and you can't always count on being on the offensive. And this card, when you're not on the offensive, is just awful. The stat line is just not good. I don't know, Miles. Like, sure, they nerfed War Chefs, but like at the same time, like War Chefs being weaker isn't really part of the issue with this deck. And also like especially when like there's the Fiora build out there that does very similar things to this, but just like has more finesse in what it's able to do because Fiora is a more modal card as opposed to being purely linear. Like, yeah. So, all right, let's shift gears to the second deck of the day.